right, hi students. I am going to take you through a tutorial on the second step here to add your color filters and to add your quote to the top of the collage that you've made. So I've gone to vectr.com and you might see login here. If you see login, then you're going to log in with your Google account. Some of you had to create a new account, so whichever way you logged into Vectr last time, you're going to do that the same way this time. So if it says my profile, it just means that the computer recognizes you and you're already kind of logged in. And I'm going to click on my profile, and that's going to pop up everything that I have created in Vectr. So this is a good example to show you how I've got lots of these files because I duplicated them and I don't need them all. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete some of these. And if you hover over something, you can click delete just like that. The other thing that I want to point out is you can rename something. So I want you to rename your file, your last name, and collage, okay? So go ahead and do that, and then you click enter. After you have renamed it, so it says collage, we are going to duplicate this file. And up here, you can see if I'm clicked on the file, this duplicate appears. If I click that, it creates a duplicate. And you can see this one is called Untitled. I'm going to call this one my last name and collage and quote. Because then today, and I'm clicking enter, I don't want to change my original one. I'm going to add a second file. So that way, if I'm not happy with it, I have this to go back to. All right, so I'm going to open my Allgaier collage and quote, and you can follow along with me. And it will open, and you're going to see it here. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add color filters to the top of each of these pictures. The way that I do that is I select my picture, and then you can see over here where it says background, I'm going to click the plus button. Now you can see that I have two images that are identical on top of each other right here. The top one, I'm actually going to change from image to color. And you can see that my image has disappeared because it's underneath. So if I untick this, there's my image again. So it's still there, it's just hidden right now by this white background. Now, in order for me to change this background, I want to do two things. I'm going to click on that background color, and the first thing I want to do is I want to lower the opacity. So maybe to somewhere around 50%. After I lower the opacity, it means that you can kind of see peeking through here that my picture is a little, or my white actually, is more transparent. So now I'm going to change the color of that. So let's say that I want this to be a cool color. So I'm going to go with some sort of teal color. And then when I click back on this, you can see I've got this teal color. So now I'm going to continue to do this by clicking on here, going to the background, clicking add, changing the top one to color. Remember, it'll disappear. It's no big deal. If I tick off of it, my image is just underneath. And I can move these too. I can grab this and put it on top of that, and I can grab this and put it underneath it as well. For adding a color filter, I want my color on top. So now, because that one was cool, I think I want to make this one a little more warm. So let's put maybe a pinkish kind of color over it. And then I'm going to drag down the opacity on that one and click off of it. And I'm now just going to keep doing this. Since that one was warm, I'm going to make this next one cool because I was taught that it's nice to place warm next to cool. Let's see. Here we go. If for some reason it delays, I'll just click back on here and then click back on this. So I've got my image again. I'm going to change this to color, and I'm going to select a new color. I want to make this a cool color. Maybe I'll do a green. I kind of like lime green. And then I'm going to bring down the opacity on that color so that I've got a color that I like here. Here we go again. I would click the plus. I'm going to click the color. Oops, let's see. I don't need that one. The color on this one, I'm going to do a warm color. And maybe I'll kind of bring it in, maybe a little more red. Maybe there. And then I will drop down the opacity to somewhere around 50%. The next step is we are going to create our text. So you can see this box right here. If you click on this box allows you to create a text box. So I'm just going to grab this and drag it. Now, remember this up here is our snapping and grid. So I want to make sure that this thing's snapping because I want to know that this thing is in the center. And I can see there's a faint light blue line appearing, which now tells me that this thing is centered that way. And then now I want it to be centered up and down. And a faint blue line has appeared there as well. Okay, once this is centered, I am going to click back on the box, and you can see that that's the text that came in with it. Over here, I can see my different fonts. And right now, my font is super small. Let's just try 24 and see what that looks like to start, and then we're going to play with it. This is the font. This is the actual type. So what type of font it is Open Sans. And I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that and pick a different font. You can add new fonts to your Google. This is a Google program. So by adding more fonts to your Google program, which I can teach you how to do later if you're interested, will allow you to have more fonts. So you might see that I have a lot more fonts than you. So you're going to pick whatever font that you want. Now, over here where it says left, you can tell my alignment right now is in the left, and I want my alignment to be in the center, like this. So if this is the font that I'm going to choose, and I can switch it, different fonts have a different what we call X height. And that means that some fonts are smaller, so that Mary Mouse or Mouse Mary or Mouse Memoirs is a lot smaller X height. Whereas, let's find you one that looks like it could have a big X height. So all these fonts are different. That's a smaller X height. And so you could start with it being 24 points, and then you can get it bigger depending on the size. And you can click this up button. You can double click that and just change it. Like I'm going to go to 50. However you want to do it, that'll work. This is, if the font has a bold option or italic, this will tell you right here. This one doesn't. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in my words. So the first one is your name, right? So I'm going to go Alyssa, and actually I can just do Miss Alyssa. Let's do that. Okay. And this might end up being too big. Actually, I can tell right now by looking at it, it's going to maybe be too big. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is my favorite food. Okay, so you could do, and maybe I want that lowercase because I kind of like how that looks. So I'm going to do mac and cheese. And then you're going to do something that you love to do, which I love to travel. And then one of my strengths is creating a family that is close. And I think I like this capital or lowercase for this font. All right, then I'm going to select this all. I did this just by dragging my cursor over top of this. Now you can see here where it says line height. If I increase this line height, which that shouldn't have happened, so hold up, let's see what happened there. It should increase it, oops, on all of it, okay? Let's see what just happened. Actually, I might have to put this back again because I undid it too many times. So I'm going to put my name in. I'm going to put my favorite food. I'm going to put something I love to do. And I'm going to put a strength of mine, which is creating a family wherever I am. Then I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go to line height. And I'm going to adjust this line height. And you can see that that puts space between my words, okay? And that might be as big as I can do with this, okay? So let's click off of that. Something is not happy. Okay. All right, so I didn't want that space in there. You can make more line height if you want. And that actually is saying it might be as big as it can get for this font. So depending on your font, you might have different options for how much space you can give that font. All right, so I'm gonna then put this back into the center. Okay, so I've moved my text box back to the center. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is you can see over here in the layers that I have my text. That was the thing I just created. So it is on top. I'm going to now create some rectangles. So I'm going to click on the rectangle tool and I'm going to create my rectangle around my longest word first. So I'm going to go with that mac and cheese. That's my longest word. And then because I have my snap grid on, I'm going to move this until that blue line appears. And now I know that that is in the center. I'm going to go over here to where it's telling me that this is a white square and I want to make it black. Okay, so after I've made that black, I'm going to select it again and I'm going to right click copy and paste and I'm going to line these up and you can see how my guides are telling me that they're lined up. I'm going to paste another one because I want these exactly the same. Paste another one and there they are. Okay. Now you can tell they're not lined up perfectly yet, and that's okay. So you can see where my text is right now. It's hidden underneath. There's a couple ways to get something back on top. So if I have something clicked like this, you can see this where it says send to back, and I can click it a couple times, and you can see in over here as I'm clicking send to back how it is going down that path, and then now this is actually in the front. I can also click something and then I'm holding the shift key down and I'm going to click multiple things at the same time. And I can send them to back like this. The other thing that I can do is I know that I want my text on top, so I can just come over here, select that, and bring my text to the top. So that's another easy way to do that. And here's my text box right here. Okay, now the one thing is that I can't do is I can't align my boxes up perfectly because I'm not going to be able to actually reach my boxes because they are underneath my words. And I can tell that I'm not really happy right now with that my mac and cheese box is too low. So I'm going to take my text and I'm going to move my text back down under here. And let's see, I want to take it underneath where mac and cheese is. So now with this one, I know I want to move it up a little bit. And if I want to be able to see what I'm doing underneath, I can always change the opacity here. So now I can kind of just see what I'm doing and it'll make it a little easier for me to get that nice and centered. And then before I go back, I can just pump that opacity back up. Okay, and then now, of course, I want to send this backwards, all right, so that I can see my mac and cheese over top. And I can do this with these. I'm going to just change the opacity on this so I can see underneath. And again, I'm keeping this on top right now because I want to be able to line my rectangles up perfectly with my text. And then I'm going to take that back and then I'm going to click here and I'm going to send that to the back, and now my travel has come back up. I come back over here, I lower my opacity, come back here, and then I'm going to make that so it is centered on the word family, and then bring my opacity back up, click back on this and send that to the back. Okay. So now I've got my words on here, but you can see that they aren't actually centered with my pictures completely. So if I wanted to change this and center them with my pictures a little bit, you can grab things like this, drag, and you can see now I have everything selected. Or I can come back in and click and move them individually. Okay, because like right now, the one thing I don't like how right here, that one box is over top and it's not lined up perfectly with the box underneath. So I can kind of play around with that. Once I'm done and I'm happy with my font choice, I'm happy with my colors, right? And I can always go back and edit these things later, like, you know what, I wish this were this way, or, you know, on this one, I actually don't like that we're covered so much. So I could either change the image, or remember how you can click on an image and you can flip an image? That's kind of funny. So I could even like flip both of these images here if I wanted to create something that was like more like up and down. So however you want to do it, the other option that you have is you could enlarge an image. So let's say that I take this, I flip this back, and then remember how I can double click on that and then click it one more time to make it brown, and hold the shift key and I can enlarge it. And by enlarging it, I might be able to get my daughter and I, let's see if I can enlarge it a little more. It's giving me extra space now, breathing space for me to, let's see here, maybe I'll do it one more time to kind of push us down into the corner or something like that if I wanted to do that. So that's something that it allows me to do. Or I could push it so we're over kind of here and you can kind of see us. So it's like we're not completely hidden. So you can manipulate your pictures afterward based on where your text lands. Finally, the final step is that you are going to export this. So you can see when you hover over this button here, you are actually, I think I'm going to flip this back before I do that. So let's flip this back to vertical. All right, I'm going to hover over my export, and it's going to ask me how I want this to be exported. This is where the JPEG is very important. Click on your JPEG there, right? And I'm going to do the whole page. And for you, we're just going to click on download here. And you're going to click on download, and for your Chromebooks, it'll go somewhere into your downloads. And for me, it of course shows up because I have a different computer here in my downloads. And then this is what I'm going to submit to Canvas. All right, so good luck. Email me if you have any questions, and hopefully I can talk you through how to successfully create your collage with your quote.